Yes, welcome back, dears. Okay, what that Tughlaq and monarchs, they appointed the military commanders as governors of territories. Okay, the persons who that land was divided into small parts, that is called Ikta. Okay, that who take care of that land are called Iktas or Mukti. In the next slide, you will learn about the duty of the Mukti. Okay, what that Mukti, that is Iktodar, want to do? The Iktodars lead military campaigns, maintain law and order and collected revenue. Okay, the duty of the Mukti or the Iktodar, what they want to do? The Iktodar want to lead the military campaigns and maintain the law and order, and also he want to collect the revenue, and they want to do appointed to check the revenue collected by the Iktodars, and also the Tughlaqs and Khalji appointed the accountants, okay, to check the Iktodars work. Okay, yes dears, listen. Like the earlier sultans, the Khalji and Tughlaq monarchs appointed military commanders as governors of territories of varying sizes. That means according to their land. These lands were called Ikta and their holders were called Iktodars or Mukti. The duty of the Muktis was to lead military campaigns and maintain law and order. They are Iktas. Inside their place, they want to maintain the army, everything. In exchange for their military services, the Muktis collected the revenue of their assignments as salary. How they will get the salary? They get salary instead of getting from the Tughlaqs, they collect the revenue from the people. Okay, that is. They also paid the soldiers. They maintain the army, no? So for their soldiers they want to give. Okay, so they also paid their soldier from these revenues. Control over Muktis was most important, effective if their office was not inheritable and if they were assigned Iktas for a short period of time before being shifted. That person also want to listen. Okay, listenable person. Okay, that means that Tughlaqs and officials, sultans appointed the accountants. These harsh conditions of service were rigorously imposed during the reign of Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Okay, what means they want to collect the revenue and they want to pay to their soldiers and take their remaining as their salaries, and these things was checked by the accountants. For that purpose also they appointed the officials. This tough situation or this tough rules were strictly followed in the two persons period, that is Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Accountants were appointed by the Muktis. Care was taken that the Muktis collected only the taxes prescribed by the state and that he kept the required number of soldiers. Why this happened? Because we already hear, if the Samantas got more power, they themselves declared them as a king. Here also the Muktis or the Iktodars, if they get more power, because they only collecting the taxes from the people, and also they have the power, have the rights to maintain the army. If they collect more taxes or the people of their reign started to obey the Iktodar words, or if they have more army power than the Sultan, what would happen? They raised their hand and they start to declare themselves as a king. So here strictly they accounted. Okay, their activities were strictly accounted. For that also they appointed the officers. The Iktodars or Muktis want to collect the prescribed amount of taxes from the people, and also they want to keep the prescribed number of soldiers by the sultans or by the state. Okay children, do you understand? Yes. Then Alauddin Khalji brought assessment and collection of land revenue control under the state control. Okay. Yes, listen. As the Delhi Sultans brought the hinterland of the cities under their control. Okay. Now what? That garrison towns and the hinterlands, everything they brought under their control. Whose control? The Sultan's control. Okay, yes. They forced the landed chieftains, chieftain means the leader, the Samanta aristocrats and rich landlords to accept their authority. Yes, little bit, they started to came to a high power. The sultans came to the high power. Now what happened means the chieftains, chieftain means the tribal's leader and the samantas who ruled near the areas, and also aristocrats and rich landlords are also started to accept the power of the or leadership of the sultans. Okay, under Alauddin Khalji, the state brought the assessment and collection of land revenue under its own control. Before it was under the control of Iqtidar or Mukti. Now it came to the control of Alauddin Khalji. Okay, the rights of local chieftains to levy taxes were cancelled and they were also forced to pay taxes. Yes children, here what happened? The Alauddin Khalji cancelled the taxes which was posted on the people by the chieftains. That was cancelled. Now Alauddin Khalji cancelled that taxes and he prescribed a new type of taxes, and also the chieftains also want to pay the taxes. The sultan's administrators measured the land and kept careful accounts. There was a neat maintenance for their accounts. Some of the old chieftains and landlords served the sultanate as revenue collectors and assessors. Okay, so the chieftains, some old chieftains and landlords were started to work under the sultan as their revenue collectors or assessors. There were three types of taxes collected by the Iqtidars. The Muhammad Khalji, Alauddin Khalji were levied three types of taxes on their people, on his people. What are the three? The first one on cultivation, that is called Harja. Okay, the taxes post levy on the cultivation was called Harja, and amounting of about 50% of the peasants' produce. If the peasants produce 100 bags of paddy, means they want to pay 50 bags of paddy to the sultan, that is Alauddin Khalji. Okay, that type of tax was called as Harja. And also he levied the taxes on cattle and on houses. Okay. So the Alauddin Khalji levied these three types of taxes on the people. One, the tax on the cultivation, that's called Harja. That means the farmers or peasants want to pay 50% of the cultivation crops to the Alauddin Khalji, and if they have more cattle, they need to pay the taxes, and if they have any own houses also, they need to pay the taxes to the sultans. Okay dears? Yes, listen. It is important to remember that large parts of the subcontinent remained outside the control of Delhi sultans. That we know, that remained, because now they ruled over near the Delhi area only. Okay, so they thought there was a vast area in the subcontinent that was not under the control of the Delhi Sultans. It was difficult to control distant provinces like Bengal from Delhi and soon after annexing southern India. Okay, from sitting in the Delhi, because their capital was Delhi. From the Delhi, it was very difficult to rule the Bengal and also the south part of the subcontinent. Okay, yes, and the entire region became independent. Even the Gangetic plain, there were forested areas were cleared. Okay, children. Yes. Now take your book, page number 40, all of you. Chieftains and their fortification we can read. Before that Sultanate forces could not penetrate. Local chieftains established their rule in these regions. Sometimes rulers like Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq could force their control in these areas, but only for a short duration, because the chieftains will not accept. Okay, that only the Delhi Sultanate faced the challenge by the Mongols. Yes, wait. Before it, chieftains, see that paragraph, fortified themselves in mountains. Read that paragraph, all of you. Yes. The Mongols under the Chengiz Khan, important word, Chengiz Khan, invaded Transoxina, okay, Transoxina in northeast Iran in 12th century, and the Delhi Sultanate faced. This was, you can read in the later, in the next session I will explain you clearly. Now you read the paragraph. Ibn Battuta, a 14th century traveler from Morocco, a country in Africa, explained that chieftains sometime how they behaved. Fortified themselves in mountain, in rocky, uneven and rugged places, as well as in bamboo groves. In India, the bamboo is not hollow. It is big. Its several parts are so intertwined that even fire cannot affect them, and they are on the whole very strong. The chieftains fight in these forests which serve them as ramparts, inside which are their cattle and their crops. There is also water for them within, that is rain water which collect there. Hence they cannot be subdued except by powerful armies who enter in these forests, cut down the bamboo with specifically prepared instruments. What they hear? The chieftains in the tribals, I already told, that leaders of the tribals, okay, sometimes they are not accept the leadership of sultans, so they raise their hands. Okay, so in that time they lived inside the forest. That time how they used the bamboos. Okay, so what he is saying, the bamboo was not hollow. The Indian bamboo was not hollow inside. It have the compartments inside. The people, that means the chieftains and other people used the bamboo to store the water, and also they doing more instrument in the bamboos. Okay, yes, listen, thank you. Yes, who were Bandagan? Yes, take page number. Bandagan was a type of slaves trained by the people. Where is the answer? Page number 37, you have the answer. Read that page and give the answer to me. Yes, what is here they given? Especially Iltutmish favored their special slaves purchased for military service called Bandagan. Then define Iqta and Iqtadar. Where is the answer? In the next page. Listen. Page number 38, see the first paragraph after the green color box. Yes. What is the answer? The Khalji and Tughlaqs continued Bandagan, and they divide the land into Iqtas and the person who seen them as the Ictodus. Then what were the duties of Ictodus? Page number 39. The duty, the first paragraph, fifth line. The duty of the Muktis was lead military campaigns and maintain law and order in their military campaigns, and maintain law and order in their Ictas. In exchange for their military service, the Muktis collected the revenues for their assignments as salary. Why were the accountants appointed by the state? The same paragraph. Last 3 lines is the answer. Accountants were appointed by the state to check the amount of revenue collected by the Muktis. Care was taken that the Mukti collected only the taxes prescribed by the state and that he kept the required number of soldiers. The 3 types of taxes during the Delhi Sultan were cultivation, then cattle and houses. The same page number 39. See the second paragraph, last 2 lines. On cultivation called Haraj and amounting to about 50% of the peasants' produce. On cattle and on horses. Then define Haraj. It was a tax, it was a type of tax levied by the Muhammad Tughlaq on the people. That means Haraj and amounting to about 50% of the peasants' produce. Yes children, all the answers I read in the book. You also read the book and give the answer to me properly in the CW. I need these questions in your CW. Thank you children. Take care. Bye.